Hey everybody, welcome in. My name is Josh, this is the Gaming Joy channel, and we are coming back to a live stream. Welcome in everybody. Ghost Gaming, welcome in. Ultimate Sim Gamer, welcome in. And yeah, you know what? I'm just freaking tired. I'm so tired. Seriously, I don't know if you guys have seen all the drama that's going on in Discord, but I'm just, I don't know, I can't take it anymore. Like, all of this stupidity that keeps going on with freaking giants and all of the crap and all of that, I can't take it anymore. I don't even want to play Farm Sim anymore. I don't. Stupid. I'm just gonna play something different. Let's just play this. This looks way more fun. Anyways, how is everybody? How's everyone doing? We're just going to do something different tonight. So, yeah, whatever. At least we're still doing farming. Holy crap, there's a lot of stuff to do here. I'm gonna have to go clean up some stuff. At least it's farming, right? This is something close, sort of. I need an axe. I don't think I've ever played this. I played this game a lot, but I've never played it on a 4K screen. This is insane. This is so much better than stupid Farm Sim. Ghost Boy Gaming asked if I've ever played Project Zomboid. No, I haven't. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna play this. Sorry, I had to. Sorry, I had to. My kids suggested that I April Fools you guys and start playing Stardew instead of Farm Sim. Had to. I actually have like 200, like almost 300 hours in that game. It's actually my wife's current game. She plays that Stardew a lot. It's she loves the storyline and the characters and stuff. So we go in and play as a family, all three of us together, and we play. That was Stardew Valley, Bruce. Yeah, it's still April 1st up here. I'm joking. I'm actually joking, Jack Sarge. But I'm not actually totally joking, Jack. But it's not as bad as I was making it out to be. I was just kidding around. There is a bit of drama going on, and but as you guys have seen, some of that drama is good, and we have actually solved some things, which I'm really happy about. What do I want? Oh, I want this. Sweet. So yeah, so what's going on with not really drama, but hold on, I'll fix the camera angle. Can't do forestry at this angle. with the quote-unquote drama is, as everyone has seen, hopefully by now, are we still at 6 foot, 6 meters? We're at 7 meters now. Who did that? As you guys have seen, the Batwing is finally out. It's taken months of back and forth, trial and error, me trying to figure out the Giants ModHub magical rules and restrictions that no one knows what they're about. And these lines here. Oh. And to be able to figure out what we're doing and how we're going to do it. So the story is with the oh, actually, let's catch you up here first in this game, because this game is the one we're playing. So let's get out real quick. Flight. We're in March. And as you can see, this is our grass field, which you guys saw me plow this part right here. And then I turned it all into silage, and I sold most of the silage. Our house is actually almost done. If you look at this, it's still being built, but it's really close. I think it's going to get done today. I'm not sure. And then I bought these 3 plots of land down here. Whoops. I bought these 3 plots of land down here. So if we look at our map, we now own 66, 67, and 68. And we started with 66 and 67, and we plowed that on the stream before. And then I finished off 68, kind of, and I basically made the grass field really big. So now we have this gigantic grass field, which we can use our Batwing, which is now public, and I'm glad that everyone really loves it. And we can use that Batwing to mow this field, and we'll see how well it takes. And we might actually have to get a bigger mower because this field is gigantic. You have to remember, this is a 2x map, so this field isn't super huge, but it's pretty big. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do another little field right in here. I decided, as part of our new property, we've got this kind of clearing in here, and I'm going to, nestled in the trees, I'm going to make a smaller field. You guys can help decide what crop goes in here. We'll do a smaller field. And then hopefully we make enough money off these trees to buy a harvester, because this field is ready to plant and seed. So we might have to seed that today. If we decide, I don't know what we're going to plant in there, so we'll have to decide what goes in there. Nothing's in there yet. But we can plant something soon, I guess. Corn, wheat, barley, whatever is springtime. I don't even know. I haven't looked at the calendar lately. Maybe in April we'll plant some corn in there. Corn sounds fun. Maybe long grain rice. I haven't actually harvested rice at all, so it might be fun to do a new crop. Long grain rice seems fun. And that's an early harvest. And I don't think long grain rice needs... Does long grain rice need water? If no, so that might not be the right field for it. But I can also plant some peas. But if I'm running out of things, I could just plant soybeans. Where the hell did soybeans come from? Am I just like having like mental problems? Soybeans has always been a crop, right? I feel like I have mental problems right now. Soybeans is a regular crop, right? And sorghum is a regular crop. So we can plant sorghum or soybeans, whatever. And then the smaller field, we can plant something else. But we have to first clear it. And I'm hoping we can clear it. And one of the cool things is, this is a modded playthrough. And we can only use mods. But we can use both mods and DLC. Actually, my headshot is really small because I'm not that. This one. So I'm sitting way back from the computer. There you go. Because we have the next set is out, and I actually want to play with the next set. I wanted to play with it in 22, but never really got a chance to. And so I'm actually looking forward to maybe using that as our harvester, and we have a big enough field to warrant a Nexat, so why the hell not? I think that'd be fun. But first, we got to clear this property. So turn off flight mode, drop to the ground. We got to clear some trees, plow some crops, and then go to the next one. And as far as to answer, I have to remember how to use my wheel. I haven't used the wheel in like a month because I don't actually play Farm Sim anymore because I spend all my time arguing with giants. You're not too late, McGarrett. Hey, Tracker Matzi. Welcome in. We're actually continuing on with our little playthrough on New Frontier in the Forestry Edition. Clearing some new fields. Now, I'm not going to clear all the trees. I'm just going to clear some of them. But we're going to clear plenty of them, and I have a new field marked out that I want to clear. And then, as we normally do, we try to separate... I'm going to turn the music down. Music's a little loud. We try to separate the just junk trees. These. From the good trees, which are over there. So we'll make another pile of the good trees and get all those good trees off in one place. But in all honesty, I actually really enjoy doing like the forestry stuff. Now that I have like the stick and the wheel, the two of them are like perfect together. I can just do this. Yes, the stream is only 15 minutes old. I've only been here a few minutes. We still got another couple hours, so we can go for another 2 hours, and we'll see if we can clear this field in 2 hours. I don't know if we can or not, but we're going to try. And the rest of us just waiting for the grass to grow. Waiting for the grass to grow, and then waiting for the right time to plant our next set of crops. So how is everyone tonight? Let's zoom out. No, wrong one. Zoom out just a little bit. So I don't know if you hear the harvester so much. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is really enjoying the Batwing. You guys have been seeing me use the Batwing on this playthrough for, what, months now? It's been 4 months since I actually got the Batwing working. Now that it's finally live, I hope everyone loves it. Bearded Geek Gaming, welcome in, sir. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. We are trying to have some fun on Frontier. Now, some of you may be curious why I haven't played any other maps. And the reason is I don't like any of them. No, the reason actually is one of the things I'm looking for in 25 that I haven't found yet, because no one's making it. One of the things I'm looking for, just for my own knowledge, is something new, something different. Now, I did find one map, and I'm really hoping that map actually makes it to ModHub, but I don't know if it's even been submitted, so I might just play the map as it exists on the third-party site, which is the 3 chairs map. Now, I might do some kind of playthrough on that. I have a roleplay kind of idea, and I've never done a roleplay series. So I do have some roleplay ideas that I'm working out, trying to figure out what I want to do. And if I do that on the 3 chairs map, I thought that'd be fun. But I'm kind of hoping it'll make it to ModHub, and because I don't want to play it off of a third-party site when the map author is still working at it. We've seen it a couple times. I've shown it off a couple times in live streams, and it's mostly there, but it's not 100% ready for prime time. There's still a couple issues with it, bugs. Yes, this is New Frontier. This is New Frontier. We're doing my square by square challenge, where we have, and this is for new people, and there's a bunch of new people who've never seen this challenge before, so I'll show it off real quick as soon as I finish cutting the string. We're doing the square by modded square challenge. And there was a mod that was submitted to ModHub that ModHub said, nope, we're not interested. Sucks to be you. Now it's linked below. But we have a mod installed called Mods Only. And it's a mod that I wrote, and I submitted to ModHub, and they're like, that's just too confusing. People won't understand it. But the idea is that you get to play with only mods. So I don't actually see any base game equipment. And it's funny because if I look in small tractors, I see this Dutesfar here. But if I go into small tractors, it's not there. I only see tractors that are mods. So the Fendt, I got the Xylon for whatever reason. I don't know why. I got my Ridge Track, which I use all the time. I got the Aseki. But I can't use anything from base game. It's all gone. Large tractors, I have one because I installed this Challenger today. Right? So nothing from base game is there, even though I'm seeing them in icons, they're not actually there. I have mods only. If you see the loader category, I only have like one wheel loader installed, which is basically a mod. And so the idea is that you're super limited on the equipment you can use. And you are pushed in some way because of the mod to find equipment or make that equipment yourself. So some of this equipment is stuff that I've modded base game equipment to work the way I want, or added color selection, or made it faster, or whatever. Or they're mods that I've downloaded from the internet, like slurry tankers. Like this one, it looked like a cool slurry tanker, so I downloaded it. And so I'm leveraged to only have mods. And the other place where the mods only comes in is in construction mode. So if I go into construction mode, I have a bunch of sheds. These are all downloaded because we're planning on building a farm at some point. But that's it. There's no base game equipment. There's silos, but only the ones that I've modded or downloaded. Silo extensions, there's 4 of them. Constructibles, nothing. Containers, almost nothing except for my farm filled stations, which is also a mod that got released relatively recently within the past couple weeks. No tools, no farmhouses. I'm even getting an error for the farmhouses because my farmhouse mod doesn't have icons. But everything, all of this stuff is only the stuff that I've downloaded as mods. So it's a mods only challenge. The mods only thing basically turns off everything in base game. It's pretty cool. It doesn't break anything. It doesn't change anything. It's just a mod that basically turns stuff off. And there's plenty of that. Giants said they didn't like it. They said that it would be too confusing to players because if players downloaded it and then went to play the game, then there wouldn't be any mods in their mods folder. I'm like, and I mentioned to them, I'm like, that's the idea. And they're like, oh, we don't want to deal with the complaints from players about that. So that's not something we would ever want to put on ModHub. So anyways, it's available if you'd like to. I can auto align the header to the tree. I could, if I cared. I have like a joystick thing. I have a farm stick. Why would I want to auto align when I can do it manually? I like playing manually sometimes. Not all the time, but there's some stuff I like doing manually. Like the tree harvesting, I like doing manually. Picking up trees, not so much. I'll auto load that all day long. There's some stuff that I don't mind, but so I prefer, and this is the way I like to play. You guys can play however you want, but when I play, I like to have automation for things that you can't do reliably using base game mechanics. So I personally feel, and many others feel this way as well, that tree physics are horrible in this game. And the tree physics mostly shine or show up as super horrible, especially when you're trying to load trees off the ground into a trailer. And to me, that level of frustration is not really worth my time. I would much rather have fun doing other things. So typically when I load trees, I load them with an auto load of some kind. I use universal auto load because I've been, you know, testing and working with Loki on universal auto load since Silver Run Forest. I came up with and helped him with some of the ideas and helped him test all of the changes for universal auto load. One of my highest rated videos was a video for Farm Sim 22, which was how to actually configure universal auto load in Farm Sim 22. It's one of my most watched videos. But yeah, we're just clearing a field. And then we'll use our Batwing to go stump grind. Because that's what it's really good for. I saw someone do a review of the Batwing, and nothing against him. He actually went back and did another review of it. But somebody I'd never watched before, Andy's Farm or something like that. He's sounds like he's European. And he did a review. He's like, check out this Batwing. It's customizable with colors. Super cool. He made a reference to Christian Bale, I think. So he got the Batman reference, especially considering it says Bruce Wayne in the description. But then he just was like, hey, it's a mower. He put it down and he started mowing, and then he went on to the next mod. I was like, wait, hold on. You totally missed all the rest of this stuff. And then he's like, oh, I totally did. That's so awesome. And so he went back today and did another video just going over the Batwing and the more awesome Batwing features. So yes, I'm super happy everyone got that. I was really pleasantly surprised yesterday morning when... Why is the video all funky again? Do you guys see that? Why is the video all, like, dumb? Oh, I see. It's in window mode again. Give me 1 second. I need to reboot the game. The video stream is all wonky. Save. Yeah, see, the video is like looped or something. Let me see if I can fix it. 1 second. Hold on. You will lose audio. Okay, audio should be back. Yep, there we go. Let me restart the game. It's something to do with the stream capture device thingy. Oh no, Trucker, you had an accident on your map? Well, I saw that. The new pallet forks that can pick up anything. I saw that. If I liked using pallet forks, I might actually do that. Helping you with your rate cause it. No, I don't think so. I think it's just a artifact of something on my computer. I don't know what it is. It's just being weird sometimes. Yeah, see, now it looks fine. I don't know what it is. Oh well. It always adds funkiness. It adds a funkiness to me. But I don't want that funkiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. I like the video to be good and solid. Trucker, what kind of accident did you have on your map? I wanna know. Traffic under your trailer. Oh wait, hold on. Nice. Oh, how do I open a browser? Oh, there it is. Open a browser. Here's Trucker Matsy's video. Picture while we're waiting for the game to load. I've had this happen in Hutan Pantai, and with like walls on the sides and barriers and all kind of stuff. It was a pain in the ass to get to fix that. All right, back to clearing that land. Come on. Yeah, I had that happen once in Hutan Pantai. It was not fun. It was like very disturbing because I was like stuck in an intersection. I think that was on one of my earlier live streams on the Hutan. And I don't know why it happened. It just did. These little trees are so annoying. They're like almost not worth my time. Alright. Let's do this. So the trick using the Batwing, by the way, in case anyone wants to know, is just like lower the head all the way down to the ground. Cut it as low as possible. And then that way the Batwing, you can just drive over the tree stumps. And it also makes actually doing the rest of your forestry work much easier. Oh, I'm not going to the right pile. Where's the right pile? Here it is. This pile is pretty far away. Why did I put it so far away? So the goal of this playthrough is to just progress through the map square by square. And so you have to progress through the map by conquering a square that is adjacent to a square you already own. So you can start, the idea with it, it's based off of Rusty's square by square challenge that he did in 22 on Hinterland. And it's based on that challenge. But I wanted to put my own spin on it, which is why I did the mods only thing and then made the mod for mods only. Because I'm a modder. That's what I do. But as you can see from our overhead map, I'm owning squares at like one square at a time. So I own these squares, and then once I'll probably expand. I don't know where I'll expand next. I haven't decided. I think I might get this whole corner and then like merge out from there. We'll see. Until like something else strikes my fancy and we move on to another map. We might not finish the square by square challenge. We might wait for more mods to come out. Because honestly, part of this challenge really relies on a good set of mods being available. And right now, it's not the case. There is not a good set of mods available. The mods that are available are poop. I was looking at ModHub today, and if you go to the Harvester page on ModHub, which I think McGarrett's the one who told me to do that. I still don't know why. But he told me to do that, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, we're 4 months into the game, and there's only one page, which is 16 mods. One page of Harvesters. That's pretty lame. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of drama going on in the rest of the Farm Sim community. I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's a whole bunch of drama where modders are starting to... Other modders, other than me, are starting to see some of the things that I've been putting up with for a while, which is that Giants just likes to randomly decide that mods are not good enough. And so they've finally gotten to a point where they feel that the ModHub is saturated enough so that if there's more than one of a certain kind of mod, then they're going to allow, because the community wants it, more mods to be added to ModHub. But they're not going to qualify those mods for making money. And the money isn't very much. It's pennies on the dollar. It's enough to buy a hamburger or something. But they're basically making arbitrary decisions based on nothing. Being like, oh, there's other people. Other people have already released something similar to yours. So yours is the second fill station. So sorry, someone already released a multi-fruit silo, and your mod is a similar multi-fruit silo. It's also multi-fruit, and so because it has multi-fruit in the name, it must be exactly the same as the other one. So we don't consider it to be unique enough, so we're not gonna, your mod is not eligible for payment, but the other guy is eligible because he got there first. So there's this stupid, and they're promoting this stupid first come, first serve, first come, first gets the money kind of attitude with the way that they're like putting mods on ModHub. And that sucks. To be that second modder, which I have done before, I have been the second modder. It just sucks to be told by giants that no, what you've done, all your hundreds of hours sometimes of hard work, is not good enough only because you were the second person to do it. How much does that suck? You know what I mean? And the worst part is that they're telling that for modders. It's not like modder A, like there's a guy who submitted a wood delivery mod, which uses the base game sawmill and has the same functionality as the wood delivery that the industrial sawmill has. They didn't steal it from me. And the reason I know they didn't steal it from me is because they probably submitted their mod while mine was still waiting testing. Which means we both happen to have the same idea. Great. They probably didn't steal it from me. Fine. But now maybe Giants is going to penalize that guy because his mod is not unique enough, quote unquote, which is a term they love to use. And maybe he won't get payments because I'm getting payments because I made out first. But it's only luck of the draw that I happen to, after waiting 96 days, get the industrial sawmill out from the testing jail. Right? How would he have known while I was in testing for 96 days that he and I had the same idea? Right? Like, what? It's so dumb. And that now they sent a message. They sent a message to all modders yesterday. And then tomorrow they're supposed to be closing ModHub for maintenance. ModHub's going to be completely shut off all day tomorrow for some kind of maintenance. We don't know what. They didn't explain what they're going to do. But they reiterated their devotion to the modding community and blah, 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 which is all horseshit as far as I'm concerned. Until I see otherwise. Because you can't, on one hand, claim devotion to the modding community and to support modding and to support modders and to support mods. And on the other hand, where's the documentation that you promised us 6 months ago? Where's the how to get started in modding documentation that you announced as if it was something new as part of FarmCon? Where's that? How can you say that you believe in modders and believe in the modding community and support the modding community on one hand, in one message, and then not provide us with the things that you promised us 6 months ago? Now they're saying that they're going to prioritize updates and resubmissions over new mods, which is fine, I guess. But that also means that they're prioritizing existing modders over new modders. So new modders are going to have to wait longer if existing modders start pushing out more updates, more new features within existing mods, which means that by the time new modders get around, existing modders could have already put out stuff that basically means they're first. And because of that stupid, you're first, you get the money mentality, it's conceivable that new modders are getting the crap end of the stick because of the way they're doing things. I don't understand that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Trucker Mati, that is 100% false. I know, and I can prove to you that that's true. So if you guys ever see my fill station, so the farm fill station that I have here, I'll show you. So if we go into construction mode, construction, this farm, oops, sorry. This silo here, the farm fill station, which is my mod, I released the same thing for 22. And it was out in 22. It has almost 300,000 downloads. 300,000 downloads, like 292 or something silly. And has a 4.7 rating, which means it's been in the top charts. It's on like page 50 of 200 of that marketing. I have proof. I have a PDF. I have documentation from Giants that they have said that my mod is not unique enough, and it is not, and it does not serve the community because it's not unique enough, because other people have released other multi-fruit buying stations before me. And because I'm not using, I didn't create my own model when I made the fieldwork fill station, I don't qualify for mods. So because my mod is not unique enough to use those words, I have never, ever received a single penny from that mod. 300,000 downloads, $0. So I am the proof. I've been fighting this for 4 years now with the original version of this mod, which is why, as you can see, this mod right here has a custom model. I paid another modder, actually I worked with and exchanged time and effort with another modder for them to make this model for me so that I could bypass their stupid rule that if you don't use your own model, you don't qualify for rewards. So I know for a fact that they don't, because I'm the result of that. So I don't mean to say that's wherever you heard it. I have proof that that's exactly what they do. And there's a bunch of drama going on in multiple people's discords right now where there are new modders who are now experiencing that same thing for the first time. I've been experiencing it for years. Oh no, yeah, totally. So their standpoint, and I actually have documentation on this in conversations from the ModHub team. Their standpoint on it, which to some level, I agree with them to some level, is that what thing that they look for new mods. Oops, I forgot to back up. This is going to be a mess. One thing they look for new mods for ModHub, one thing that they prefer, is they want to see new things being added to the game. Right? They want new. They don't want people just rehashing old stuff. They want new. So they prefer, without it ever being documented, they prefer people to make their own models. They don't want people reusing base game buildings, base game equipment, base game models. They want people to make their own stuff. They want new things because they're not willing to put in the effort to do it themselves, and they rely on the modding community to make that new content, right? That's the whole reason the modding community exists the way it is because Giants opened it up and let other people's creativity in. I get that. I understand it. But to basically arbitrarily decide what is good enough or what level of editing qualifies as different enough from a base game, or enough editing of a base game model to qualify for rewards, it's not documented, it's not measured, it's not listed out as a rule, none of that. So if you're gonna say to people, no, you don't qualify for rewards because of X, Y, and Z, if you didn't tell them about that before they submitted and before they got their stuff reviewed, then in my mind, you can't block by blocking them, you're being two-faced. On one hand, you're saying, oh, these are the rules, please follow the rules. And if you follow the rules, you have the ability to receive monetary compensation for your mods. That's what is in the ModHub guidelines. There is nothing in the guidelines that says, if you don't make your own models, you're not going to get paid. That's not there. It's not in the guidelines. Yet, they are directly influencing people's ability to receive payment based on an unwritten rule, an undocumented rule that they follow. How is that fair? How is that fair to a new modder who just wants to come in and make something new or make something different and they don't know? They have no idea. Like, I submitted the Batwing fully expecting not to receive compensation for it. And honestly, after seeing this stream today, I'm sure Giants is going to turn it off and say, we don't like how you talked about us, so we don't believe that your mod qualifies for that, and they'll turn it off again. And I don't care. To me, the monetary stuff is not an issue, but for some people it is. For some people, it's why they're modding. For some people, it's why they get into modding. But for Giants to just arbitrarily decide that, you know, your thing is not unique enough, and they use that term, not unique enough. So what happens when 82 Studios submits his Phoenix truck? They could, by that same logic, just decide arbitrarily that because the Lizard, I forget, there was another truck that looks a lot like 82's Phoenix that just hit ModHub. I forget what it's called, the Warrior or something like that. They could, by that same logic, arbitrarily decide that his Phoenix no longer qualifies to receive any kind of compensation on ModHub because it's too similar to an existing thing. Right? Yeah. And that's the thing. But there are people, and I know 82 Studios is one of those people, he does this for a good portion of it for compensation. Part of the reason he does it is because he does make profits. He makes profits off of live streams, he makes profits off of ModHub mods, all that stuff. If he's not in it for the money, then that may be news to me, and I'm sorry if that isn't. But there are some people who do it for that money, or for that matter, they do it to raise money for a charity of their choice. And which is part of the ModHub process. You can take any of your money that you make and donate it to a charity. I end up donating it directly to a charity on my own, because I have different charities that are supported by Giants' system, but that's for me to decide, right? How are they going to make arbitrary decisions based on unpublished rules, restrictions, or guidelines? That doesn't make sense. You can't take something away and penalize somebody for something you're not telling them about. Right? It's kind of like, you know, that's kind of like taking a test in school, and then you take a multiple choice test, and you go in and you have multiple choice tests, and it's multiple choice, a bunch of check boxes, and so you check the check boxes. And then the teacher gives you an F because you didn't put X's in the check boxes. You put checks in the check boxes. They didn't tell you that they wanted X's, but they really did. And because you didn't, you don't get a grade. I don't get that. And they favor 2 to 3 meter plows because that's everyone's first project to do, and because everyone is creating their own models for those 2 to 3 meter plows. Sure. And Giants loves that because that's all unique content. It's all new models. It's fresh models. It's fresh things. I don't get it. My greenhouse mod actually finally made it to testing. I don't know if you guys saw that, but my greenhouse mod, I have a greenhouse mod that's on there, which I don't expect to get payment for, but I made it for the console players because it has free water, it has stacked pallets, it has all kinds of really cool features that don't exist anywhere on console, and it just makes the base game greenhouses much better. I didn't make my own greenhouses, I didn't change the recipes, it's the same as the base game, but with a bunch of added features. I fully expect them to say, no, we're not going to pay you for this. That's fine, I don't care. But then they rejected it today because they said I had AI-generated content in my thumbnail. Who said? Did an AI tell you that the thumbnail was AI-generated? Since when is AI-generated content not allowed? Where in their policies or terms of service or modding terms of service do they say that no AI-generated content is allowed in thumbnails? So how can somebody tell me from the ModHub team, please remake your thumbnail, your mod icon, without AI-generated content? That's literally what they told me. I could show you the response. Who's to say? If you're gonna have testers testing a rule like that, it's got to be documented. You can't suddenly tomorrow say, "Oh, well, you know what? We're giants, and we decide that we don't want people to have green text in their icons, their mod icons. 'Cause green's our color. That's the Farm Sim 25 color. So we don't want to allow people to have green text in their mod icons." They don't tell anybody, but then they start rejecting mods saying, "Oh, you put green text in your mod icon, so you need to remake your mod icon because we don't allow green text anymore." You're moving the goalpost. Like, that isn't cool anywhere. You can't have a process that takes months and you're sitting around for months to see if your thing passes. And then suddenly you have a different set of rules when they finally start testing your stuff than existed when you submitted your stuff. That doesn't make sense. You're moving the goalpost. How is a modder supposed to keep up with that? How is a map maker supposed to keep up with that? Maps takes hundreds of hours. And the biggest problem is that because they take hundreds of hours, when you start doing something, if they change the rules about what's allowed in maps, you might be let's say they tomorrow they said, okay, maps are only allowed to have one extra crop. They're not allowed on ModHub unless you only have one extra crop. But you go through all the work, which takes hundreds of hours, to add 5 extra crops. And you submit your mod to ModHub. You submit your map to ModHub. But then ModHub team says, you need to take out 4 of the 5 extra crops because we no longer allow 5 crops. The limit is 1. No one told you. No one documented it. But if they did something like that, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. They're adding rules and they're adding restrictions without telling anyone what those rules or restrictions are. I mean, I don't know. And there's always the argument, it's their game, they do what they want. Okay. But they keep it up, and they're going to lose half the modding community because the modding community is fed up. There's, what, like a dozen now modders who have quit modding altogether. They're no longer modding for Farm Sim 22. Or they are, but they're not going to actually release stuff on ModHub until ModHub changes their policies. I've heard of, what, 4 or 5 people now who've completely quit because of ModHub's policies, fighting for change. Gamer Designs, who did the Pits trailer that we're using here in this playthrough, he's one of the people pushing for change. And so he's a great modder. I've actually worked with him directly on another project and helped him with stuff. But now we're going to lose him as well because he's refusing to submit to ModHub until they change their policies. Him along with other people, they're calling for change. So, you know, the ball's in Giants' court now. These trees were really tight to play packed together. It's getting really hard to do this. A lot of these are cut too tall now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, a lot of us are getting fed up. And if you look at the numbers, the Farm Sim community is getting fed up. The attrition rate, which is like the measurement of how many players start playing on day 1 and who are still playing today, the attrition rate for Farm Sim 25 is like 30% less than it was like 30% worse, I should say, than it was for Farm Sim 22. And Farm Sim 22 had its share of growing pains when it first released. Most of Giant's games do. But now, it's way worse than it was. And the worst part about all of this, and I always bring this up because it doesn't matter to me, but it does matter to people who I'm friends with, is the people who get the brunt of this, the people who get shit on the most, are the console players. The console players 100% rely on the modding community to provide them with extra content. As a PC player, I can just go to any one of the third-party websites, download any mod I can think of, or make any mod that I can think of, and just move on. But console players are not. They're the ones getting the short end of the stick here, because they don't have any other options. They don't have any other source. Their only source is ModHub. And so by making these kind of stupid rules and stupid policies... Am I still at 6 meters? Where's the thing? Yeah, I'm still at 6 meters. It's just... I like cut down a whole bunch of trees last time, and then like half of them got cut at 7 meters, so they weren't loading to the trailer properly. And I thought it was a bug with universal auto load, but it was really just I had cut the trees the wrong length because I was an idiot. Hey Joseph, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, you guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying the content. There is monetary stuff like super chats and all that kind of stuff. If you want to support the channel, I greatly appreciate it. I don't need it, but all of it's welcome. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see more. I am planning on doing more actual content and not less live streams, but adding additional content once I get my list of console mods submitted. So I'm focusing on my console related content. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to figure this out. Use a keyboard here for a second. There is a way to tilt the harvester head. There it is, comma. If I tilt the harvester head, I should be able to pick up this tree. There. I want this tree. Nope, not that one. I want this one. Nope, not that one. There's one right here that has branches on it. And I want to get it so I can clean it up. Don't need this anymore. Maybe... Is there a camera? Why isn't there a camera on the head? Annoying. It's like on top of the branch, but I can't get it. Seriously? This is not in the head? It's like literally inside the head. It should grab it. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's that? Yeah, whatever. It's trying to make it neat. It won't be neat. Oh well. I tried. I tried. Stick drift. That way? Yeah, chainsaw. I tried to do it with a harvester, to do it the right way. I tried, right? I gave it my best. Was it to the right? I couldn't tell. I don't care that much. It's nice. My super neat log pile. This is nothing like Bruce's log piles, which are neat. But Universal Autoload doesn't care. So I don't care. I think I have this thing almost done. This whole thing almost cleared, so we're almost ready to mow and clear. I'm doing a fantastic job of keeping them straight. Yeah, sure. I have other tools for keeping them straight if I really wanted them straight. I'm keeping most of them in the same direction, but there was a few that were in the other direction, so now it's all cattywampus. So I did resubmit the boosted greenhouses. That would be the next mod that comes out once it passes testing. It sounded like from their response that it had already passed testing, so they've already kind of sort of approved it. But they just wanted me to fix like some mod description stuff and take the AI's generated thumbnail out, which of course I'm not going to do. I sent them a receipt of purchasing the artwork for the thumbnail, which I purchased from a professional artist. I spent money on it. And so there's no way in hell that's actually AI generated. So they can go screw themselves. They think that's AI generated. They continue to make me change it for that reason. If they want to change it for another reason, give me another reason, which I'm sure they'll do. That's what they did for the Batwing. They just kept making up new reasons for me to fail. Which is why it took so long. And then somebody asked, what are my next things that I'm working on? So that's a totally fair and honest question. So the next things I'm working on are the rest of my console-ready mods. The next two that will be coming out will be the variable pickup width mod, which everyone loved in FS22, but it came out really towards the end because, in all honesty, I didn't figure out how to do it until 2 years into the game. And then getting it past ModHub testing back then was also a chore. But BPW will be coming out for 25. Why that tree is falling in that direction, I will never know. Okay, now we're having a problem. Okay. We're having problems now. Tree physics are amazing. Can't believe I saved that. Not only did I save it, but I kept the logs somewhat stacked in a straight line. I need like a forwarder with like a blade on it to fix the stacks. Oh wait, I have one of those. You guys can see I went in and painted like where I want this new field to be with that kind of green color of the ground texture, just so I know the shape of the field that I'm cutting. I can't wait when I'm making maps. I get to use spruce trees, which I'm very excited about. Because these trees are good and all. They're not great. They're good. But they're also annoying. This one's going to be too tall. I know it. Yeah, that new mod for the pallet straps? Yeah, I totally agree. I think it'll be good. See, this tractor right here. This tractor has a blade. Let's go put the blade on it. Make our piles a little bit neater for funsies. Oh, and there you guys can see my new road. So I carved in a road up along the side of this field. Smoothed it out a little bit. This is my driveway into my house. And I made the grass field just a little bit bigger over on this side, just for the sake of it. And then I still haven't actually done anything with the building a farm. Maybe we'll do that today. Let's repair. Yes. Customize. And this is the winch option, which is this is my version of this thing. I actually fixed it so that you can do things like this and just have the winch and blade without the stupid arm, and it costs the right amount, but they didn't let you do that by default. Yep, configuration changed. Thank you. And why do I have 2 sawmills? I don't even know. There's an extra sawmill here. No idea why. Like, I just noticed there's an extra sawmill just placed in the middle of the farm for no good reason. I don't even know why it's there. Oh, you know what is available, though? I think our wood delivery is available. We should maybe show off a new feature. Alright, so this... how do I lower the G? How do I control the winch blade? The blade. It's not even letting me control the blade. But I can push stuff together, I guess. There you go. There you go. I made the stack neater. I could try to do the same with this silly cattywampus stack. This should be funny. This edit is... Yes, it's on my Discord. It's kind of secret right now, so just let me know and I'll send it to you. If this is something you're interested in. I think actually the reason the blade is not working is because I edited it. In all honesty, the blade used to work and I haven't tested to make sure that it works, so that's probably what's going on. Yeah, see, this would be much better if I could actually raise and lower the blade. But right now I can't, so it's not really working the way I wanted it to. Oh well. Back to clearing land. We're almost done. We are actually almost done. It's stuck on the tire. Dang it. I tried. I tried. Ain't care. I mean, I don't know if there's enough wood here to actually get us what we need. We want to buy a Nexat. I want to buy the Nexat for this playthrough. The whole kit and caboodle too. I want to buy the whole thing. I want to buy the Nexat with the the seeder cultivator attachment and the harvester attachment. I want to be able to seed with the Nexat. I want to harvest with it. Only downside is that I can't edit it and fix it. So I'll have to deal with that potential problem. I know, I might as well go big. My idea here is I'm going big with all of the land that I'm buying. So I might as well go big and get the Nexat, right? Hey, these nuts. Welcome in. I don't think I've seen you in here in a while. Thanks for coming in and joining the live stream. We're having a little bit of fun on Frontier using a mod of my making or editing. This is the Ponzi Cobra that I edited. It was not working so well, but I made it work awesome. We don't need to see the F1 menu anymore. So what else is within the boundaries of this? Not too many trees left within our predefined boundaries. Yeah, go big. Can you play the song Fix You by Coldplay? No, I can't. Because that would be copyrighted music playing on a stream. And this is a copyright friendly, or not friendly, however you want to do it. This is a slightly monetized stream, I guess. And no, I can't play any kind of copyrighted music. Plus, I don't have any means to do so, even if I wanted to. Thank you, by the way, Psycho Kid, for finally getting my Batwing making it on ModHub. It took a while, but we made it. And I hope that all of the console players really love it, because it took a lot of hard work. I was giving Looney a hard time earlier because he, along with everyone else, failed to notice my, awesome custom logo on it. I made a custom logo for the Batwing, and no one noticed it. I was really bummed about that. No one noticed the work that I did. My Photoshop mastery. All I did was change the look, change it from saying MM7000 to say MM8000, and instead of saying Bednar Mulcher, it now says Bednar Batwing on all the stickers. But it was so unnoticeable that I did a good job. Thank you, Joseph. I greatly appreciate the compliment. It looked like it was supposed to be there, so no one noticed. No one noticed the big words Batwing on there. Oh, and also with the Batwing, the mod description, I don't know if anyone caught this. So the mod description said if Bruce Wayne wanted a Swiss Army knife of a mower, this would be it. I used the name Bruce Wayne in a mod description. Which I guess is kind of, sort of copyrighted. Oh, that's not going to work well. Oh my gosh, what just happened? I didn't do it. I didn't mean to, I swear. Somehow I drived over the tree that was in the arm. Oops. I totally didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I got Bruce Wayne's name onto ModHub. I call that a win. I mean, he's a character in a story. He's not really a real person, so... Maybe if I put, like, Justin Bieber or something stupid, that they would have caught it. Maybe because it's a fictional character that they don't care too much. Don't know, don't care. I got it on there. And I've had a bunch of people, like, in their reviews of it, call out, like, Batman and use Batman colors, and someone called out Christopher Nolan. Someone called out what's his name? Christian Bale. When they were talking about the Batwing, and all of that made me very happy. Which was the entire attention. I don't know why it's called a Batwing, like that style of mower. Somebody told me at one point that's what it was supposed to be called, so. Like the John Deere one we had in 22 was an HX20. No one, and everyone called it a Batwing mower. I think because of the way it folds, right? I just made it official, and now it's the real name of it. Which I'm incredibly proud of. 100%. This tree's a little close to the border. I got to take a look at another map today. I was helping someone on that channel. I don't think he's here right now, Farmer Brian. He was looking at a map that came out called Midwest Horizon. I remember Midwest Horizon being a map that someone else had done in 22, so I don't know if it's actually a licensed converted map, but it's a map. But whoever did it got the Giant's disease and somehow got it in their mind that no one wants to ever merge fields together, and that there should always be a line of unowned land in between every field, just to make sure that you can never merge fields or change the look of the map in any way. Personally, I think that's a mental hiccup that a lot of Giants employees have. They just don't want people to customize things. They want it to only be the way they want it. And Midwest Horizon suffers from that too, where there's an unbuyable land, which is actually buyable. So I guess that's an affordance, but it's millions of dollars. But in between every single field is this unbuyable land. You know, as a new player, you'd never be able to like merge the two fields you start out with, because it's all on land you don't own, which is stupid. And this harvester did not actually go 30 kilometers an hour originally. It went like, I don't know, 6 or something stupid. Something really slow. Alright, I think this is the last tree. Last-ish. Close enough for bank work. Could do more, but I don't care. I don't think we own that land, so. Alright. Now we can grab the Batwing and start getting rid of some stumps. I'll show you guys how I use the stump grinder attachment on the Batwing to get rid of stumps. The cool thing is you can do it while mowing, which is a feature, not a bug. Okay. Let's fold this guy up. Turn it around. Control B. What's Control B? What is it? Control B. No. What's the turnaround thing? Why don't I see it? Change driving direction. There it is. Shift B. I was close. And now we've changed the driving direction to now drive forward or backwards. I don't know what that. Can I squeeze between these trees? I can. Let's go to the tractor. Let's get the Batwing. This is my cement factory, which is just making cement stuff. And it's probably going to make cement stuff for a long time. It's not the way I wanted to go. My camera's backwards. Gotta go get our Batwing. And this is the updated ModHub release, even though I've had this for months. Yeah, why is there an extra... Is that the delivery one? Why is there an extra sawmill here? I'm not... Oh, you know what? I think I was buying pallets. Construction. What's this? Oh, it's the buy station. Oh, I don't need that anymore. I had to buy like prefab walls or something like that to finish the construction for the house project. So anyways, there is a new feature coming for the sawmill, which is right here. Right? Now that we've moved over to our field. So this is a new feature. It's coming for the sawmill. I'm going to put it over here so it's kind of in the middle. Put it right here. So the new feature is this one, which is called wood distribution. And this new feature has a bunch of customizations. So I can go F. I can change how it looks. F again. Maybe it'll give me my mouse this time. Come on. F again. It's not giving my mouse. F. Here we go. We can change how it looks from being old boards, a bunch of different types of old boards, smaller boards, new boards, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You can make it look like a sawmill if you want. You can make it look like this little thing right here if you want. My favorite is this one. I like the log pile. So I'm going to put this log pile right here. And then I'm going to come over here, and this is the new feature. This is the first time anyone is ever seeing it. Oh, not silos. Silo extensions. So you can also have... Whoops. That's not what I wanted. Ah, get out of here. I don't know why all those menus opened up. That was weird. So the wood delivery is a new feature, which is just a sell point, essentially. It's just kind of a sell point, but it's a production that allows you to just deliver wood wherever you want. And it actually works. And the best part is that mine has a certain limit. So as with any production, you have a limit on how big that production is, right? That's how productions work. We all know that. Unfold, go back into construction mode. So there's a limit on how big your sawmill is. Come on, catch up. This is the large one. I have the prices wrong. Oh, this is large. Okay, that's fine. And so this sawmill right here only takes this sawmill, the one we're talking about. It only takes 250,000 liters. But if I customize it, let's say with this stack of old boards, it's giving me a little bit of a bug, but that's fine. If I do this, just place it right nearby, hit B or B. I'm going to place these two old boards right next to my sawmill, right? No big deal. These two things are sawmill extensions, which actually make the intake amount for this distributor bigger. So I've just taken a production, which is this one, and it has a limit of 250,000 liters. But I could actually put now 450,000 liters because I've put two 100,000 liter productions in there. It doesn't show up here. I have to fix that part. But the idea is you can actually make your production bigger. This will actually work with the regular sawmill too. If you put those things next to the regular sawmill, they look kind of like decoration. They're actually going to be a silo extension. It makes the sawmill bigger. How cool is that? So we're going to come here and we're going to go into here and change this to distributing, which is the whole goal. Change output mode, distributing. And then we're going to go over here and use our Batwing. What mode do we want? We want stump grinder. We're already in stump grinder mode. Let's lift it up. Nope. Nope. Turn it on. And we're going to go and get rid of our stumps. Just by driving over them. Ooh, I totally missed that one. It also works in reverse too if you want. It doesn't matter which direction you drive over them. For bigger ones like this one, like I might not be able to drive over that one, but if I hit it in reverse, I'll definitely be able to get over it. This one I might get caught on. No. Oh, I didn't get it all the way. Which makes this thing a pretty effective and quick stump grinder. The grinding animation is really, really fast. So it grinds them almost faster than you can drive around them. But sometimes if the stump is really big, it takes an extra step. It takes an extra pass. But I mean, that's faster than coming up here with a chainsaw and doing the whole chainsaw dance to stump grind, right? Now, if you get, let's say this one right here, it wasn't, but let's say I hadn't cut it well enough. If you still want to use the Batwing to stump grind it, just back up to it like that. Especially in the middle, it works really good if you back up in the middle. And it'll stump grind it. Oh, that just left a little chunk on the ground. Let's get rid of that. And continue, just gonna doop-a-doop-a-doo. Drive around in circles until I'm super dizzy. It's like stump grinding heaven right here. Like all of these stumps that were here. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Now careful. If you get her over, like, if you go over a log, it will actually completely destroy the log too. And if I lower down my stump grinder, it will actually get rid of those bushes too. So if I get too close to these logs, it will actually take some of those logs out. Since I want to be able to sell those logs, I don't want to get that close. This is a stump grinder. Oh, and I was talking to you guys about the stickers, right? You look on the top of it, See that how it says Bednar Batwing and it looks like it was meant to be? That's Photoshop skills right there. How cool does that look? It's the same font and everything. And then this one down here on the side, if I crouch down, see what it says Batwing MM8000? And if we look at, oh, I can't show you the original one because I'm mods only, and that's a base game vehicle. But if you go ahead and look at the original one on your own, you will see that that's not what the original one says. The original one says Mulcher. Yeah, see if I want to get rid of these bushes, I lower down my stump grinder, but if I want to just get rid of the stumps, I'll leave it up. It works best when you leave it up. This might be dangerous, but I'm going to try it anyways. Sorry, I forgot to turn the wheel cam on today. This tractor backs up really slowly. I don't know why. It drives really fast forwards, but it backs up very slowly. You can't see it, but I'm having a lot of fun playing with the wheel. Steering wheel. And the other thing, the other trick I like to use, and this is a PC only trick, so console players, I'm sorry, you can't do this. But if you go in, if you press F4 and you have development mode turned on, you get to be in this like secret like special development mode where you see the tree objects and stuff, and you see where they like the tree stump. So even if like the grass was covering this tree stump, I'd still be able to see it because I'm in that mode. It's a little bit weird to drive around in this mode because it's kind of disconcerting. Oh, and somebody told me about this secret the other day. If you can't get the Batwing to go over something forwards, one way you can do it is to fold it up, drive over it, and then unfold it when it's on top of it, and then turn it on. Which works surprisingly well. I hadn't actually tried that before, but that's a really great idea. And I think the cool thing about being in this mode is I can see the mower blades turning, which I think just looks cool. But it allows me to see where the stumps are from far away. So to make sure I didn't miss anything, I totally missed a few stumps. It's usually because those stumps are below the surface. And the only way to get them if they're below the surface is this Batwing. And it's those stumps that are below the surface, by the way. If you're ever having a problem terraforming and you had cut down trees in that area before, it's likely you're suffering from the same thing. Which is like this. If I look at this, let's see if it's right. If I look at this, right? That stump is gone. If you look right behind that back tire, there's a stump there. If I turn on this mode, the stump's still there, but it's below the surface, which means if I try to terraform that spot, it's not going to work. But lower the Batwing down, and it's gone. Hot tip. The Batwing is the only way to get rid of those stumps. There's nothing else in the game that will get rid of those kind of stumps. Other than, like, terraforming and, like, raising and lowering the ground to expose the stump and all of that kind of stuff. Right? The Batwing does it. And the reason is the blades for the Batwing are at an angle. They're like at an angle like this. They're not flat. They're at an angle pointing down, which allows them to get specifically these kind of pesky under the ground stumps that you can't even see, but are definitely still there. And they would cause terraforming problems later on. Pretty cool, right? And of course, when I'm in this lower down mode, I can get rid of all these bushes. And I don't think that if I mow this, I'm going to get anything. Oh, I am. Cool. I'm going to mow this field then. Maybe we'll mow after we load all the logs and sell them. We'll leave that here. Turn off. We don't want this one. We want this one. Hey, truck. My favorite. This is Gamer Design's trailer. Except I edited it because I wanted the trailer to have Shift R. I lost my keybind, so I lost my hotkeys for loading logs, so I have to do it manually. Sorry, I have to use a keyboard a little bit. But this is Gamer Design's trailer, and I just added off-road tires to it because I'm on Frontier. There's no roads. Why would I want a log trailer that has street tires on it? That's just silly. Hey, CBW. I know I saw you in there earlier. I know you've been lurking. Thank you for being here, buddy. And I have your little Massey Ferguson on here too, but I kind of haven't decided to buy another tractor yet. Still deciding what kind of tractors I want to use in this playthrough. So far I have the Chris and Riley Special, just because it's the only one. Yup. This edit is part of my... So a lot of these things that I'm using on this are part of this, and I'll show you. Because it's funny. They're part of my Black Edition pack, which is this right here. Black Editions. And this is not the latest version of that pack. I think there's a newer version that also has some mowers on it. But I have like this mower, which I've used for a bunch of stuff, all the forestry stuff. These two forestry vehicles, both the one I'm using and the Felix, which is just a forwarder. But this one's actually base game a really cool forwarder. It has both winches, a blade, an arm, a grapple, and like a forwarder bunk grapple thing, and a blade and a second blade. Like, this one's a pretty awesome machine. Honestly, no one uses it. But that Black Editions pack is where you get this trailer that I'm using, which is the Pits trailer, which is the base game trailer, which used to be Gamer Designs, but Giants made their own. And I basically set it up to have off-road tires. So there's just the same Continental tires, but now it has an off-road tire option. Because I like the off-road tires. I think they make sense. But yeah, I can send that to you, Joseph, don't worry. Oh, stop. Shift R. Shift R. And of course, since it's a base game trailer, it drifts a lot. Because most of the base game trailers drift. Which is because, you know, log physics suck. But whatever. And then I think this is set up for auto unload. So I think all I have to do is drive through. Yep. And the wood delivery option is also auto unload, which is freaking awesome. Which means I don't have to put in any effort whatsoever. And I just drive right through. Yay! And then go back and pick up more. So that wood delivery thing and the silo extensions and the wood and what's going to be coming as a wood silo, that's all going to be coming as part of an update to the industrial sawmill, which will be submitted to ModHub shortly. I'm just finishing up some functionality and testing. That'll be one update. The farm fill stations, I think, is also getting an update, but I don't remember why. Oh, no. The farm fill stations will also be getting an update for realism. I can't believe I'm saying this, but a good friend of mine said he would use the farm fill stations if it didn't have cheaty prices. And I'm like, okay, sure. All right. So I don't know what to name it, though. I need your guys' help with that. If so, like, let's go into construction mode. So the farm fill stations, right? They're here. There's this one, which is the fill station, or like this one, fill station, bulk fill station. And then this one is the free bulk fill station. So what do I call the one that's not cheaty? Like, I can't call it the not cheaty one. Do I call it the normal bulk fill station? Like, what translates well? Because it's already in like 6 different languages, so having something that's easily translatable makes sense to me. Look at how fast that is. That's insane. It's so nice. So I want something that's easily translatable because I have to actually the realistic. See, I kind of want to stay away from using the words realistic or unrealistic, because then if the realistic one is realistic, then what's the normal one? Unrealistic? I don't want mine to be considered to be unrealistic. It has some nice bonus sell prices and buy prices, but it's not necessarily unrealistic. I almost want to call them vanilla. Right? Like the vanilla cell station. Vanilla, baseline, those are all good suggestions. Vanilla. I can't. This is my first time actually using this in gameplay, other than testing, and the auto unload for the delivery is so awesome. If we look, we have put in a lot, and it's gone. Where is it? Did it go here? Storage is empty. Uh-oh. Something's broke. I just put in all that wood and it's gone. It took a lot of wood and it's all disappeared. Unless it just automatically delivered it right away to these. I should have checked. Alright, I'll figure that out later. Oops. I don't know if that's an oops or hey, it works great. It is a bummer because I was planning on selling that wood. Vanilla, Vanilla's pretty good. Vanilla's a good name. I like vanilla. Keep hitting Shift E instead of Shift R. Shift R is the command for auto load. And E just makes me get out of my vehicle. Vanilla's not bad, I like that. So maybe I'll just call it the vanilla fill stations. And I'll put a line in there that says because it's vanilla that it has uses comparable prices to all other sell points. Or something along those lines. I'll be nice about it. By the way, the reason this one doesn't auto unload is because it's a sell point and it can also sell other stuff too. But I did just make $60,000 from that. And one log wasn't in there. Yeah, $61,000. All right, well, that whole land is cleared. Let's go mow it. And the Batwing, we're going to have to put it into brush hog mode. What brush hog mode will do... Turn this on. Turn the mower on. F1. And we're not going to put it on mower. We're going to control Y to change our work mode and put it on brush hog. What brush hog is going to do is it's going to mow and turn on the stump grinder. What that's going to do is if I miss any stumps the first time, like this one right here that I'm about to drive over, it should get those stumps. So if I just do this and I continue backing up properly, even though I'm not very good at it because of the wheel. Okay, that's just annoying me. I have to circle around. Totally botched that. So I'm in brush hog mode. This will get rid of the bushes, and also get rid of any stray stumps that I may have missed the first time. So that's good. And we'll mow this because why not? It's a first cutting. It's only March, which means it's not going to give us the most yield. But oh yeah, that's right. Grass is still broken in Farm Sim 22. So a first cutting is the same as the second cutting. So you're going to get the same output. It actually doesn't lower the output because Giants is done. And they still haven't fixed one of their primary crops. The first thing that almost every player does when they play the game is to cut some grass. And that basic functionality is still broken. Because, you know, Giants are really good at building a game that works. But that's okay, because the tornadoes look amazing. And that's all that matters. The only thing that matters to the player is tornadoes and their crops getting destroyed by hail. That's the most important thing. I'm sorry. I was completely wrong. I regret my statement that that grass cutting is not working the way it's supposed to, and I rescind my statement because we have tornadoes, and that's just the bee's nuts. Or D's nuts. D's nuts is still here, isn't he? It's the bee's knees. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Because tornadoes are amazing. Joseph, sorry, I missed your comment, Joseph. I read it, but I didn't respond to it. Joseph is playing a classic series using old equipment and run-down farming buildings. So he enjoys that the rusty options on my mods allow me to play that type of playthrough. Yes, and those were made specifically for that type of playthrough. One of the good friends of the channel, Rusty Money Gaming, is the reason why the name on them says Rusty but Trusty. That was a phrase that Rusty and I came up with when we were trying to name the Rusty Patina. So Rusty but Trusty is something that was there in 22, and we kept it for 25 because it sounds awesome. And little minor shout out to Rusty that's in every building of every mod of every player of all the 300,000 people who've downloaded that mod. So shout out to Rusty. But yes, that was created for him, actually. He was the one who kind of sort of requested that. He was like, oh, I want something rusty because I want it to fit in with my farm. And he was doing what was he doing? He was doing a series on Black River, I think. I don't remember. Black River? He was doing a really old iron, like start from absolutely nothing, and he was using a lot of other equipment that was very similar. Oh, I didn't actually set a course. Hold on. I don't know how to set a course in this thing. He was doing a playthrough on Black River or something like that, and he wanted to use my fill station, but the original version of the fill station didn't have a rusty option. And so I made one. Actually for Rusty's playthrough. And then I released it as an update to the Fieldwork fill station, which still to this day has not received any awards. You know, I really hope that Giants starts listening. I really hope that they understand that their policies are just non-existent. Right? Yeah. So the whole, like, the Rusty options and the mods that allow people to do that playthrough, I think it'd be great. One thing I would really love to see, and no one's done it yet, but I would really love to see and I don't know if it's possible. Whoops. I would love to see a Rusty, like a mod that gives you a Rusty paint scheme for every vehicle in the game. Where, like, we have wear. Like, the wear on our vehicle is usually just dust and scratches. I want that wear by default to include like a Rusty. So I want to be able to have a Rusty version of just about every tractor. I think it should be something that's applied to all tractors and all buildings. There should always be a Rusty theme. I think that just makes sense. I think that should be default. Yeah, the thing with the, like, resembling Rust, like, you kind of have to, it has to have that kind of patchworky patina. And there's been a few vehicles along over time that have come out with a Rusty look. Like, one of the best ones, I think, and I don't necessarily mean to shout him out, but 82 Studios is Lizard 1982, whatever that truck was called, his 82 pickup from 22. It had a Rusty skin, like a skin to it. Like a skin that was just applied wholesale to the whole vehicle. But it wasn't like, it was like patchwork. And the cool thing he did, which I never figured out how he did it, was he made it so that the skin could be colored. Like for my Rusty but trusty silo, the one that's in the game now, it's only one color, right? It looks like it has like green underneath it or something, right? I wanted that to be colorable so that as a player you could color the silo, paint the silo whatever color you want, but then also have it be Rusty. And I've never been able to figure out how to do that. If anyone here knows how to do that with a building, a placeable, to basically have a placeable that has two layers, the texture layer and then a rust layer on top of the texture layer, please let me know. I would love to update the farm fill station to have the Rusty look. And then the sawmill had the Rusty look already, so that one just, it came that way from when I bought the model for it. And again, the sawmill, again, same reason. I wanted to avoid Giants yelling at me like they did in 22, saying, no, you can't use our sawmill. But if you look out at it, my sawmill is the only one out of every sawmill on Giants ModHub that actually has a custom model. Every single other one is using the LT15, the Woodmiser LT15. Which is, it is what it is, but mine's the only unique one. And I did that to you know, overcome that same unwritten rule that Giants has, where you're not allowed to get, you won't get awards or profits unless you provide your own models. So I provided my own models. It cost me money. You know, it costs real money. So a lot of the money that I get from making mods, almost all of it goes back into making mods. I recently purchased, with some of the profits from FS22, I purchased 4 building packs of different types of buildings, which I'm going to be releasing as an all platforms building pack of a bunch of buildings that we've never seen before in Farm Sim 22. I'm not a modeler, I don't have time for that. But so I went with the pros and got a professional, you know, with full textures and all that kind of stuff, professional models. See, this is one of those instances where the stump is too high. Right? So the only way to get this stump with the Batwing, it's too high. I can't even drive over it. So the way to do it is to come over here, reverse like this. Maybe if I can figure out how to reverse with this truck. And reverse in up to it like this. And then it'll cut it. And then lower back down to make sure I get all of it. And then we'll get the rest of this grass, then we'll have to go pick this grass up. There we go. Oh yeah, so there should be a link in the description below of the video for coffee. Buy me a coffee. So ko-fi.com and Ko-fi takes, everyone takes a percentage, but Ko-fi takes a much smaller percentage than anyone else. So that's the best way if you want to directly support the channel, is to go through the Ko-fi setup. And this one? No. How do I disconnect? I don't remember. And then we have our fermenter here, but we're going to have to move the fermenter because it's kind of in the way. But let's go pick up that grass. We can actually go this way, I think. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Crazy driver here. Who gave me the keys? We actually own all this land. I don't know what to do with it yet, but we do own it all. We own this, like, hillside, too? I don't know what to do with this hillside. Maybe another field? Maybe animals on that hillside? Ooh, animals on that hillside. Leave the trees where they are. F1. Virtual windrower. Oh. Virtual windrower will pick this up. We don't need no stinking windrower. We'll just use the virtual windrower. Yup. I did it. I'm cheating. Deal with it. This will be out for all platforms soon enough. It's in its final stages of testing. I added a couple of features to it that I'm working with my testing team to make sure that all of the new features work as expected, and work with the extra crops and crop types that have been added. Oh my goodness, and we're almost at time. But we did get our whole field cut, so I'm happy that we got the field done. Maybe I'll come through and plow it, get it ready for planting, and next time we can plant it. We still have to decide what we're going to plant in that other field, but I guess we can do that next stream. We can do a vote next stream and decide what to plant in that massive big field over there. We already have a seeder, so we really don't have to buy the Nexat until harvest time. So we'll have to buy some more land, clear some more trees, sell some more wood, sell some more stonework products, like some from our cement factory, some roofing tiles and whatnot.
before we can have enough money to buy a next ad. But at least we got this next field cut in our own the whole map kind of challenge, right? There we go. And for anyone who is interested, just so you know, one of the reasons I've been not doing a lot of videos lately is because I'm focusing on modding right now. Mainly because the game's new, but I want to get all of the mods that I've promised to all y'all out there as soon as possible. And so part of the reason I haven't been making videos is because of that. I do want to get back to making videos, but there's only a certain amount of time in the day. I could potentially get back to making videos sooner if someone would be willing to help me make those videos. And what I mean by that is I'm looking for an editor. I've been looking for an editor as a paid position. I'd more than willing to pay people for their time. Someone to join the Gaming Joy team and help me produce some video content. Whether that be Let's Plays or tutorials, but primarily tutorials, that's what we're going to start with. But someone who'd be willing to jump in and do some editing and take ownership of kind of the editing part of the process. And that would allow me to record and hand off the editing to someone else, and hopefully get a few more videos and tutorials out to you guys so you guys can learn how to do all the cool stuff that I know how to do. I want to teach everyone how to do everything that I do. And of course, those tutorials will always be free. You will never find my tutorials behind a paywall. That's just barbaric. Unconscionable. What's the word I'm looking for? Unconscionable. I don't even know what word I'm using. I can't stand when people put information. I was talking about it with someone today. I can't stand when people put information, knowledge, the sharing of knowledge behind a paywall. That's just dumb. And I'll leave you with something really funny. And I swear that this is not an April Fool's joke. But I was informed today of a map maker who is using Patreon. And of course, there's lots of map makers who are using Patreon. That's nothing new. But this map maker is gating being a map tester behind being a Patreon member, which is something that a lot of map makers do. But this one was ridiculous because this guy, huh? It's like the old Italian way of saying it. This guy. Control Y. Now let's get a good camera angle, and we're going to outline our field. But this modder is not only putting his map testing behind a paywall, he's also making a very big map. Like a 16 or 64x map, I don't remember. And he's putting being a map tester for this very big map behind a top tier Patreon membership of $10,000 a month. I kid you not. This is not a joke. I kind of hope it's a joke because that's ridiculous. But he's literally gating, testing his map behind a membership of $10,000 a month. Which is essentially someone paying him to develop that map full time. Like, as a software engineer in California, making $10,000 a month is a pretty fair salary. It's a good salary. It's what you kind of need to live in California. But, you know, $10,000 a month might seem weird, but that's a salary in California. But to ask someone from a community to pay you that just to be able to test your map, like, that's unreal as far as I'm concerned. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think it's I don't understand it. And you know, each person can totally do whatever they want to do, but that seems like iffy. Less than legit. And I don't really get it. But, you know, teach their own. If that's what they want to do, go for it. It just doesn't seem like very friendly to the community. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I swear to you, that's not an April Fool's joke. That's real. And I hope they find someone to pay them full-time to make a map, because I would love to be able to make a map full-time. But I'm not going to charge someone for it. It's just weird. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and continue plowing this field. I'm going to extend my plow out like this. Doopy-doopy-doo. Because this plow is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and plow this field. And I will catch everyone later. I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you for coming along for this journey and listening to me waffle on all night. And thanks for being here. Special thank you to all of my members who are members of the channel. All these people who are listed here on this screen are people who've gone above and beyond in helping out this channel. All of the proceeds from all of that help goes directly back into the channel itself, and will help fund future endeavors and future mods. So thank you everyone for all of your support. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been a great... I spell your name wrong? Sorry. Did I? Damn it, I did. I'm so sorry, Joseph. That was a typo. I will fix it as soon as I get off the stream. But I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. And thank you for all the support. I will catch everyone next time. And maybe next week we will go back to our other playthrough, or maybe tour a map or whatever. We'll figure something out. It will be fun. It'll be enjoyable. And if we're really lucky, we might see some greenhouses on ModHub before next week. I doubt that, but who knows? Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch everyone next time. Bye-bye. Here. Join the Discord if you want to continue the conversation. Bye-bye.